The problems with lasagna. Doesn't matter if it's a classic bolognese or maybe a simple spinach or a vegetable version. They all turn into kind of a hodgepodge of a mess that bakes into a soupy disaster. Nobody wants that. So today Christie's here and she's going to show us a lasagna that actually slices beautifully and stands up tall in the field of lasagna.
We actually decided to start with sausage, Italian sausage, instead of ground beef in this recipe, and it is a flavor coup. So I have 2 pounds of sweet Italian sausage. I've taken the casings off. I have a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil heating up over medium-high heat in my Dutch oven. And I'm gonna add this to the pot. We actually found that a potato masher works really nicely to start breaking up the sausage into smaller pieces. We'll know that it's ready when we can start to hear it sizzling in its own fat.
In its own fat, okay.
So this will take about 15 minutes. All right, while my sausage is cooking, let's talk about sofrito.
Okay.
We're taking our cue from an Italian bolognese, and we're starting with some vegetables. Fennel is the first thing we're gonna use. So I'm going to cut off the stalks. Now we want to cut it in half and take the core out. I like to quarter it because if you quarter it, then you can just make one cut and cut the core right out. I'm just going to give this a rough chop because we're going to let the food processor do all the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Now I have an onion. I can't have a sofrito without an onion.
It's illegal.
Similar rough chop. Bench scraper. Don't leave home without it. In addition to the fennel and the onion, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of chopped sage. Again, just a coarse chop.
Yeah.
4 cloves of garlic. No need to chop. Tablespoon of fennel seed and half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes.
Oh, gorgeous. A little bit of heat.
Now, we want to get this to a nice fine chop, so we'll pulse this about 10 times.
Okay.
This is what 15 minutes looks like. So this is great. Our sofrito is ready to go, so I'm going to add it to the mix. Oh, this smells so good. All right, so I'm gonna stir this in and drop my heat to medium. And we just wanna let this cook long enough to let the vegetables soften. And they're so finely chopped, it's really only gonna take about 4 minutes. All right, time for the tomatoes. I have a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes.
Okay.
So we'll get some different textures going on here. And a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce.
Okay.
So nice and smooth. All right, so I'll give everything a mix. And we're just gonna let this cook long enough to let all of the flavors come together. I'm gonna bring it up to a simmer. It's almost already there. So about 5 more minutes, and then we'll just let it sit off heat. It's noodle time, Bridget.
Oh, fantastic.
I have 4 quarts of water that I've brought to a boil in this big pot. Tablespoon of salt. Make sure that the noodles are well seasoned also.
Thank you.
I have 17 noodles total, so we'll add these. Now, we're not cooking these the whole way in the pot because they have to bake later.
Right.
So we'll just take them shy of al dente, about 7 minutes. All right, these have been cooking for just about 7 minutes, so let's take a look. I said we want them just shy of al dente, so you can see that they're softened, but they still have some texture left. All right, I'm gonna drain these and come right back. Okay, noodles are drained. Now, next step is we need to spray some stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give my dish a good spray with any kind of oil spray. I'm going to dump all of my noodles onto a rimmed baking sheet.
Okay.
I'm gonna start to spray these because these will all stick together. Now I'm going to take 2 of these noodles and I want to cut these in half.
Okay.
Because we always have trouble when you're layering the noodles, making them fit into the 13 by 9 inch baking dish. So we want 15 full noodles and 2 that I'm gonna cut in half. And you could do this on a cutting board with a knife, but I'm gonna do it with my shears. And let's move over to the cheese.
I love it.
We've got a pound of whole milk mozzarella.
Nice and melty.
We've got 8 ounces of provolone, nice and sharp and tangy. And I've shredded this and the mozz, which we like to shred any semi-firm or soft cheese on the large holes of a box grater. The real powerhouse cheese here is some Pecorino Romano. 4 ounces of pecorino that I've cut into some chunks just to make it easier to process. Get it in there.
That beautiful sheepy flavor.
All right, it's gonna make some noise.
Okay.
Look at that.
Lovely. It almost looks like breadcrumbs.
It really does. So we'll add this to our trifecta. And then the final ingredient to the cheese portion is 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano.
Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today.
It is time to assemble, Bridget.
Score. Yes.
All right, let's grab some noodles. I'm going to put my noodles in, hug them up against your side. Okay, 3 noodles in, and I have a little bit of a gap down at this end, so I'll take one of those half noodles and place it here.
Lovely.
All right, so next step is the sauce. We'll do 1.5 cups per layer, and I'll just spread it out so we have a nice even coverage. Now we're using some cottage cheese. I'm adding 1/2 cup to each layer. Now, a lot of lasagnas use ricotta cheese as this kind of creamy element, and that's delicious and we use it a lot too, but sometimes it can break under really high temperature.
Sure can.
We like to use cottage cheese as another option. And I'm gonna use my spoon to just kind of dollop it, and then I'm just gonna use the back of my spoon to spread it out a little bit. All right, and now I'll do 1 cup of our cheese mixture. All right, so that's our first layer. Now, for our second layer of noodles, now I hugged the first layer up at your end. I'll do the opposite for this one. We'll tug them against this side of the dish. 3 long noodles, and then a half a noodle at the end. All right, Bridget, I'm gonna keep going and build 2 more layers exactly like I just did.
All right.
All right, now this is the last under layer. Now, we have exactly 3 noodles left if we've played our cards right. We don't have a little end cap for this top layer.
Okay.
So it's just the 3. You can go ahead and center them.
Looks great.
I did reserve 2 cups of our sauce and 2 cups of the cheese mixture before I got everything set up. And that's what's going on top. A final flourish, if you will.
Good grief.
Okay, I have a rimmed baking sheet with some foil. Now I'm going to cover it with some foil that I've sprayed with vegetable oil spray.
Smart.
Because I don't want all of that beautiful cheese to stick to the foil. So I've covered it tightly. We're gonna let this bake for the first 30 minutes covered.
Okay.
The oven is set to 375 degrees with the rack in the middle position.
Okay.
After 30 minutes, I'll go in and take the foil off and we'll let it bake for another 30 minutes uncovered until it's bubbly and spotty brown on top.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh. Look at that.
Now it's been an hour that's been in the oven. It's bubbling, it's browned. I don't think there's any doubt that this is nice and hot. Now, the only reason we can get a really nice perfect slice is if we let this sit for a while. 45 minutes, it could even go a little longer. It will still stay super hot on the inside, but that's gonna give it time for all those layers, all that cheese to kind of settle and congeal a little bit, just so we can get a really nice slice. So we're just gonna wait for a while. All right, going in. Now, waiting all that time, look at how nicely it slices. Spatulas. One is gonna give me a little support. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Bridget. Those are some layers.
Non-sloppy layers, I might add. All right. Before I go for that top, I'm gonna go a little at the bottom there. Sweet, sweet fennel. What a beautiful taste. Mm-hmm. Oh, and the pork is, oh my gosh, the pork is really tender.
It just melts in your mouth.
Yes.
For full episodes of your favorite cooking shows, head over to ATK's Full Episodes channel on YouTube. You can stream complete seasons of America's Test Kitchen, Cook's Country, and more. See you there.